Question 975. I don't know if this question is phrased wrong, but I'll read it as is. What sex advice do you wish you had known before your first time?
First time what?
Having sex.
Define that.
That most men are 2-minute wonders. You wonder why it only takes 2 minutes.
2 minutes? That's a long time.
Did he go twice?
Fuck, Jeff.
I can't. No, I can't be. I can't. I don't know. I don't think my attention span's that long.
I would have liked to have known that there was better soundproofing between the room I was in and the room my parents were in at their house.
Did you not know that in advance?
No, I didn't.
That means they were really good at having quiet sex. That's what that says.
No, it explains why they asked me, what were you doing last night?
What did you say? Nothing.
Maybe I was just tossing and turning.
I mean, you may have been.
It was a really good dream.
Yes, best dream ever.
Robert X says
that's what you call a live stream, Sammy. What a noob mistake.
It's called going for a Riley.
Robert X says, "Don't do it."
Wow.
Antja has changed her answer to the previous question to alliteration. After hearing Jeff Ryan. Spooky says, "Put it in and jiggle it about."
Why would you want to change your mind? Just look and see what you'll find. Okay, that was a pretty shit one.
No, bad Jeff. Stop that.
Stop while you're ahead, Jeff.
Santi said, "Absolutely everything. Sexual education was non-existent in my house." Nerdy says, "Puff can't actually think of anything." You were an expert to start with, weren't you? Sammy?
I have to say I'm probably with Santi on this one. I had no idea what I was doing for such a long time.
What sex education is there in the JWs?
Probably still don't.
Don't do
sex
it.
education in the JWs. Yeah, don't.
That's an oxymoron.
Or get married, which is why they all get married at 17 or 18. And then
Yeah, that's in a lot of religions. They get married early so that way they can have the sextons.
But how do you know if you're going to be compatible?
You don't. You just guess.
No.
You just guess.
And then you're stuck for life.
That's why they make you take those terrible vows, and that they speak of ownership and stuff like that.
I think
marriage is overrated and ridiculous. But anyways, that's not the topic.
I think
it's about the cake.
I think my education has sort of understood the mechanics of it, but not really understanding
anything else.
So,
Nerdy says, "Relax, don't do it when you want to go to it. Relax, don't do it when you want to come."
That works.
He's quoting music now. That's great.
Chantal, is it bad, right, that I had to read half of that before I twigged?
It's awesome.
It's starting to speak in rhyme. I knew it wouldn't take that much time.
No,
Chad,
bad Jeff. No,
I'm going to hit him with something. I need a remote electric shock. Chad says, "I wish I understood the female anatomy better. I wasn't empathetic enough. That said, the first time was wild. We got by." Santi says, "If I had to marry my first time, I'd be miserable at the moment. A lot of people are. And the worst thing is, they don't know that they're missing out. They think that was how it was meant to be. And, yeah." Jeff. Oh, did you, Jeff?
Yeah, I answered.
You didn't really have anything. Sarah.
Tell him that you're a virgin.
Yeah. You think
I
that
started.
would?
I
No?
started late. Yes, it would, because my first sexual encounters were not very willing. So the first time I was willing, I didn't know what I was doing. So,
Yeah.
and I didn't tell him that, and he's like, "Well, you're 23. Why don't you know what you're doing?" I'm like, "I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm technically a virgin."
Oh, you
So
did wait a long
tell
time.
him. So tell. Well, yeah, because I was raped, and I'm like, I wasn't interested in it until then, because I finally met someone who,
Hmm.
you know, wasn't an idiot. But I should have told him I was a virgin up front, so that way he'd have known to expect. I mean, I had fun. I enjoyed it. I'm addicted to it now. So yay!
It's all his fault.
I
It's all
waited
his
till
fault.
I waited till I was 21, and it was that little incident with the soundproof room that was losing my virginity.
I was certainly in my 20s first time.
Antjer says that if I don't want to, I can say no. I think that needs to be beaten into everybody.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree with that.
was going to be my first one, but I'm like, I didn't want to go too dark, and I still went being dark as shit. Like, my first times.
Well, you know, it really depends on the age range you are, because more modern times, they tell kids that. You know, you're allowed to say no. When I was a kid, they didn't tell you that. I mean, when I was raped, I didn't realize until 10 years later, because at the time, it was my fault. You know, it was put out in the society, it was the woman's fault. So
I mean,
I was just like, well, you know, I was drinking in a room with a guy, in my apartment with a guy. I set it up wrong. And then later on, I went, wait a minute.
Well, obviously,
So-
you know, there's the two things into that question, facets to that. One, that you're allowed to say two, and two, no means no. I mean, obviously, I've never been fucking raped or anything, obviously, but I've definitely given consent when I really wasn't willing to. If you understand what I'm saying, I felt I had to.
Yeah.
The problem is that happens
Yeah.
more now. I think there is less actual forced based on what we're well in the UK anyway, based on education. But I think there is more coerced. Should we say?
Yeah, I mean, it's just more, you know, you feel obliged to,
Yes.
and you know, like for example, a couple of people I've been with, my drive has been nowhere near what theirs has been. You know, I've got to be honest. I don't even find sex that enjoyable.
I got a question for all of you,
Go on.
and chat. You can dive in on this too if you want. Do I technically qualify as a virgin the second time?
No. But like I was saying in the chat, virginity is a completely meaningless thing, really.
I mean, it
True.
is, yeah. But my family was like my family is still really, really Christian, so I had that concept in my mind.
Yeah, but answer the question I asked.
Yeah.
No.
No,
Well, I don't
answer
know.
the question I asked.
I don't know is the answer. Probably not.
I don't know so much about the concept of virginity, but I think linking it to being somehow pure is something I think we need to get rid of.
Well, I'm not asking about any of that crap.
Yeah, you know.
I agree with you completely, but I'm just curious.
Well,
I'm not sure.
Can you reiterate the question then?
Did they give you a hymen?
The hymen's irrelevant.
No, but that is one of the options.
Well, but the hymen's probably the most relevant part, Dave.
No,
everything
because
else
most people
is
don't
irrelevant.
have it.
Well, no,
See,
it depends on how you're looking at virginity. Is not being a virgin, because for men it's not like that. So men don't have a hymen to break. They just have sex. They're no longer virgins. So if you look at it from that point of view and don't disseminate male to female, then your first time, that's it. After that, you're not a virgin anymore.
And a broken hymen is not a way to test for virginity, because they can break for all kinds of different reasons.
Yes, they can.
None of which have to do anything with sex.
Yes.
It's true.
Right.
So it's all irrelevant.
Yes, pretty much.
It pretty much is.
The problem is I think Jenny's question is completely arbitrary. It's whether or not she wants to be considered that way. B, did you answer the original question?
I forgot what the hell it was now.
What sex advice do you wish you'd known before your first time?
I wish when my mother told us we should wait, that I would have realized that it was not for religious reasons, and that it was actually because it should be more meaningful. Like, she tried to tell me that, I just didn't get it. So the first couple times I had sex, I was just like, what the fuck is this? Because there was no emotion, you know.
So I somewhat disagree with
that. I'm a teenager, and I'm 17, 18 years old. I should do this. What the hell? Why not? You know, hormones raging. And if I would have waited, it would have been, I wish I would have known that it really does matter. Well, at least to me it does. Some people don't care, but to me it matters if there's an emotional involvement. And if I would have, because she used to say all the time, relationships should start in the kitchen, not in the bedroom. You should sit down and have a cup of coffee with someone and get to know them before you have sex with them, because it's better like that. And I didn't understand why. I wasn't old enough to understand. I wish I would have understood.
I disagree with that to some degree.
Thank you for explaining that, though. I was just kind of wondering, does that mean you have to go after cucumbers and stuff?
No.
Her point is to be friends and get to know somebody first. And she was absolutely right. I should have.
Okay, Knocker said, before my first time, should have rubbed one out because it was like 30 seconds, she wasn't impressed. This was already covered, and actually that was your first answer.
That was my sarcastic answer, but yes, that was my
2 minutes, you said. 30 seconds he managed.
I mean, yeah. I guess 2 minutes for a teenage boy is pretty good then.
Yes, we're very proud of you.
You had a good one.
Yeah, apparently. Apparently.
Right.
Thank God his girlfriend never found out. She probably would have killed him. It's honest to God truth. It's not even a lie. We were just drunk as fuck.
This is a problem, Nerd. My issue is Nerdy says, sometimes it's fun to just have a one-night stand with someone you have no idea about and never will again. Right, and this is my problem with it. Right, the separation between sex and relationship and emotion, you need to understand that they can be separate things, that you can enjoy the physicality of it without the emotion. That's not to say that
some of us aren't built like that, Dave. I have to have emotion attached. Hold on, I have to have emotion attached, or I won't get off.
Yeah,
I am an emotionally driven person.
Yeah, not everyone.
Just sex does nothing. I mean, it's fun. Don't get me wrong, it's fun, and I enjoy pleasing my partner, and I love doing it. But at the same time, what the fuck's the point in having sex if you're not finishing? That's just frustrating.
Exactly. Like,
it's fun.
Not everyone
so people are like, you should go out.
Well,
yeah.
Sometimes
People tell me now, you should just go out and get laid. I'm like, why? So she can get off? I'm just not that person.
Sometimes it's just not practical. They have to finish. I don't think finishing should be obligatory.
It can be as fun as any other sport.
What's the point of having sex?
Or physical activity. Well, what's the point of playing football? Or hockey? Or anything like that? What's
That's not the same thing, Dave.
Of course it is. It can be. This is the point.
Dave, you can't convince, like, not everyone's the same way. Like, some people
I totally
have that
agree.
emotional connection.
I completely agree. I'm not. I'm arguing for the sake of arguing.
He's playing devil's advocate.
Not everyone's like me, basically.
B, what I was saying is that, yes, absolutely, finishing is wonderful. Orgasm is great, but sometimes I can't, and that's just the way it is. But it's okay because there's other things in sex to enjoy.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you're going out to get some strange, you're doing it because you want to have sex and finish. You're not doing it so you can walk away frustrated and the other person's like, that's not the point of it.
True, but you don't know.
But do you not get do you not get
until you do it?
Do you not get the excitement of talking to a girl just for 20 minutes in a bar. And there's electricity between
Well,
you, and
of
just that
course.
conversation, right? Just that conversation in its own right has value, even if it doesn't lead anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying if you're going to that step of just having some strange for the night and bringing somebody home,
Yeah.
what the fuck's the point? The point is to have orgasms. That's why people have sex, because they're fucking horny and they want to have an orgasm. What's the point of doing it if you're not going to? I mean,
the orgasm isn't the be-all and end-all
not
of everything.
bragging, but I've had some really hot chicks in my bed and didn't get off because I had no emotional attachment to them.
Interesting.
So
But sometimes
how
just
long-
being in bed, sometimes just being in bed and cuddling and spooning is just the best thing you could ever do.
Yeah, but that's usually not what happens, though. It's like, okay, gotta go home. My kids are waking up in 4 hours. Or I gotta get to work. Or that's not realistic. You know?
Ricardo says, so sex is an orgasm chase. Very
Isn't
often.
it? If it's
Very
just
often.
sex. Not making love, but just sex.
Not necessarily, but I get the sentiment. Right, I want to move on. Otherwise, we'll end up with this conversation all day.
Yeah, I've told people enough about myself. Can we, Dave? Too honest.
he's over this
Go, go,
relationship.
go.
He's moving on from us. I'm so sad.
I know. If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day, and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.